Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another production of the Cross-Platform Baseball League. We got another weekly roundup, our first weekly roundup of the Season 11 season. And tonight, I'm Dwayne. I'm going to be taking you guys through the roundup, along with, for the first time in the booth, Jay Boops, league veteran and former runner-up. How are you doing tonight, Jay Boops?
Doing pretty good. Glad to be here.
Yes, definitely glad to have you, and we're going to get started pretty much right away. With our AAA rankings. We're going to have our AAA rankings, our XBL rankings, and our plays of the week. So without further ado, we're going to head right into those. Let us get our tunes rolling here in the background. All right, and at ranks 13, 14, and 15, we have three of our AA graduates coming up to the AAA for the first time this season in Hikers, Black Roses, and Mist Inc.
Looking like a good squad here. You know, things could change soon. But glad to get some new people in AAA.
Absolutely. Mist still looking for his first win, and he should be on his way to getting that soon, as he's always rapidly improving. Hikers started out pretty strong on opening night, and Black Roses getting a win early as well. So all these teams definitely looking to build things up. We'll move on to the next three teams on our list here. At rank 10, and then two teams tied at 11th. No team ranked at 12th this week. We have the Hudson Softies the Pirates of Plum Island, and then the Pot County SWAT, another AA graduate in Sonco down there, ranked at 11th, getting 6 wins this week.
For sure. I can tell with these bottom set of guys that really once the pitching comes around, we'll start to see some more wins, and I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting to see how Sonco's got the 14th strength of schedule ranking right now, but at 6-4, he's definitely going to be looking to build on those wins that he's got early. It's a really, really, really strong start. Pretty much the best start we've seen out of someone coming out of the AA so far, besides Tezzy last season as well. So we're going to move up to the board now to ranks 6th, 7th, and 8th, but actually we have a few more ties on the board. So right, tied at 8th, we have the Sirloins and the Milkmen, and they're tied at 6th. We'll see who Tezzy is tied with. The heavy hitters are making an appearance.
You see, his record really has some work to do, but I think he deserves to be where he is right now. He's hitting well.
Yeah, he is hitting well, but it's that pitching that's definitely biting the Milkmen and Jesus so far in the behind. He's got 10 losses on the season, but you can see that #1 strength of schedule. He really needs to pick it up versus the bottom half players that he's got left on his schedule. I think he's got a really, really tough one that he's gone through already, but he's definitely going to be looking to build on that. Tezzy and Eduardo with 4 wins in this early season. That's definitely a good start. 2 players that are definitely looking to build on great appearances in the AAA last season. We'll move back on up the board now to ranks 4, 5, and the other tie at 6. We've got Chronic Lies and the Femi Fatales taking a drop, but that I think is due to the big rise of a couple of other players we're going to see in a minute. And then we've got Ox and the Nazgul 9 moving up to rank 5 from number 6, and then the Blue Panther and the Foxes taking a little bit of a dip there.
For sure. Yeah, looking to build on a nice record over here, Fatales. Excited to see where they go from here.
Yeah, absolutely. 4-0 to start. No losses yet. Definitely a great debut for Chronic Lies in this AAA season early on. Ox has played a lot of games here. He's got 11 on the board. He's got a hanging series with Panther, who's right behind him. So that'll be telling, I think, for the middle of this table going forward. But just a lot of action to be had in this AAA. I think we said it a lot in the preseason show that it's just going to be a big, big shakeup overall. And you really know there's really no telling where anyone's going to finish. As we move on now to our top 3, and we're going to see a big shakeup here as we have the Dog Pound at number 3 standing pat, but then the Toe Beans and Squiggle Jones, and then the Swashbucklers headed by One Eye Seaman jumping up to 1 and 2 from deep in the rankings of the preseason.
Wow, yeah, Squiggle, real jump right there. Excited to see what he's going to continue to do moving forward. And as you mentioned, I know the next couple of weeks we'll see the real shakeout, but looking real promising for these guys at top.
Yeah, Seaman with an unprecedented offense so far. We're going to see if he can keep that up. His strength of schedule a little bit on the weak side as he hasn't played anybody who's really above 500 yet, as you can see there. But as he gets into those meteor teams, we're going to have some really heavy matchups, and we'll see how these rankings change. So that's our AAA rankings for the week. Without further ado, we're going to move on now to the XBL. Starting off at ranks 16th, 17th, and 18th. We've got a tie actually at 15th where the Harambinos and Zlatan will make an appearance, followed by Wishbone Rules, who takes a bit of a dip from the preseason, and Cardiac Card, who picks up his first win in his return season, 10th season here in the XBL this week.
Sure, Wishbone, I know, did take a little bit of a ranking dip, and hopefully the next couple of weeks he'll get back to where he was projected, but solid pitching. And same thing with the Cardiac Cards. Really, offense has been the key here in the XBL on 90 Ego. We'll see what happens going forward.
Yeah, got to pick the runs up really for both teams, both of them averaging below 1 run per game at 18th and 17th. Still early for Zlatan and the Harambinos. 2 early wins in his XBL career, jumping up in his first season in the XBL overall in the AAA. Last season, he's jumped up into the XBL here to challenge himself. So we're really looking forward to seeing what Zlatan can do too. We're going to move up the board now here to our next rankings at 13th, 14th, and 15th. We've got Just No Name and the Base Bandits having a pretty successful first week here in Season 11, followed by B. Hagen, who is yet to really get the ball rolling. He does have 1 win on the board, followed by Finite, who has an identical record at 1 and 5.
Definitely hard not to mention No Name's pitching here. He is leading the league in strikeouts and deservedly right where he is. He's going to continue getting wins unless, people can catch up to that pitching. And, I think with B. Hagen and Finite, it's just a matter of time before they start hitting well. And it's just, we'll see how they move up the board moving forward.
Yeah, you can especially see in B. Hagen's stats there. His runs scored per 9 is at over 4, so he's definitely going to be looking to build on that. He's just got to trim that runs allowed down. No Name and Finite more on that end of trying to build up the offense. So we look forward to seeing more out of these teams. They're all going to be in that playoff hunt going forward, as we have a 12-team playoff race going forward. And now we will head up the board to ranks 10, 11, and 12. We will see Webb and the Melonheads with that number 2 strength of schedule. And then Flash hanging out at number 11, still yet to debut this season, followed by yourself, J-Boobs, coming back up the board big time. A 5-rank jump, from 17th to 12th. Very, very well done.
For sure. I'm excited of my play of recently. We'll see how it goes moving forward. I know my strength of schedule isn't right at the top, and once I start playing to some of these big dogs, we'll really see the test. But talking about Flash here, ranked at 11th and hasn't played a game. So I'm hoping he picks up a few games here soon to kind of calm the chatter, but no doubt there's some reason to question him being so high up. In seasons past, it's understandable to see him ranked that high, but we're going to have to really see what happens here once his first couple games are in.
Yeah, we're all going to be looking forward to the Flasherton's debut here again in Season 11. We'll see where that affects him on the leaderboards and how that'll affect everybody else around him as we eagerly await that. And yeah, a big schedule of games from the Melonheads this week sees him with 3 solid wins, dropping a couple games though. The number 2 strength of schedule overall, like I mentioned before, he went up against Ashnod in Ashnod's first games and took a bit of a hit, but it's been a strong showing from Webb, a lot of power, so we'll see if he can build on that. Let's continue to move up the board now to 7, 8, and 9. Jackin in the Bada Bing at rank 7, really showing out in his rookie season here in the XBL. No AAA, no AA in his history. He's come right into the XBL, and he's having a great season. He's followed up by Ted at 5 and 5, and Khan and the Hares at 4 and 2.
Yeah, I'm excited to see these newcomers. Definitely, as we talked about, we're going to see these rankings shake out, but I feel like their work so far has been promising, and with Ted, you got to think he's going to go off here in a season or so, and maybe it's this one. I really do think moving forward he will go a little bit higher in the rankings.
Yeah, it was interesting to see Ted last season. Really got the ball rolling in the regular season. We'll see if he can jump on that horse again and really get rolling. It was very, very exciting to watch. Khan has had some really nice offensive numbers, as you can see here. Pretty good pitching numbers as well. He's played some close games, so we'll see what's going on for our new friend Khan. And like I said, we have our eyes on the Bada Bing, possible Rookie of the Year race right here between the Hares and Bada Bing, so that's something to keep your eye on. We'll keep moving up the ladder now to ranks 4, 5, and 6. We see the Rhode Island Anchors and Corruptions, who have played his first 2 series and gotten his first 4 wins on the board, so nicely done by him. Followed by Team Liquid and GTM, who has also only played 4 games, but he's looked very, very strong offensively throughout. And then myself and the Pine Sox, who have come out early with some wins at rank number 6.
You know, Corruptions, I feel like he is a real sleeper in this league. He's not talked about much, but he continues to put up the numbers, and, you know, I think we'll see a good showing out of him in the playoffs. And talking about JTMS, kind of a newcomer. I think a lot still needs to be seen from him, but, you know, his strength of schedule is kind of in the middle of the pack, and we'll see as he plays more games. And you, of course, Dwayne, you are really putting on a show here to start the season. Yeah, your strength schedule, 11. It's reasonable, but I feel like this could be one of the seasons that you also go far in the playoffs, so I'm excited to see what happens with you.
Yeah, definitely a lot of eagerness to see what happens with all these teams here towards the middle / top half, as a lot of players have shifted in and out of play in this league and left it wide open here in Season 11. We're going to move on now to the top 3 ranked players in the XBL for week number 1. And that's going to be Weaver and the Navigators at rank number 3, making a big jump from the 5th spot, followed by Luke and his Mallards, and then Ashnod in that familiar spot of number 1.
Well, you know, with Lazy gone, we can kind of make the assumption that Ashnod is really the top dog here, really the team to beat, and is definitely kind of the gold standard for teams, and deservedly at number 1. And Luke, coming off of a great season last time around, is going to continue to show his dominance. And Weaver, I know we'll kind of touch on this, but his power numbers have just been over the top recently, and he definitely stands to be a contender as well this season.
Yeah, Weaver really showing out early in this season offensively at that 8.22 runs per 9 so far. It's been very impressive to see. Every time he puts a box score in, there's more runs, more homers. So we're going to continue to look to him to keep improving. He could continue to rise in these rankings, even though there's not much further to go. We'll see how the seasons for Luke and Ashnod, they're always going to be tough to continue to develop. But yeah, many congratulations to Weaver for making a big jump in his power numbers and making a big appearance here at number 3. We're going to head now to our plays of the week. These were chosen by me and J-Boops just before the stream from your guys' submissions. So remember always to keep submitting your plays so we have a great lobby of plays to choose from. We're going to move now to number 5. And this is coming from our opening night games. It's going to be D-Sil coming in hot with the bases loaded, really breaking the game open.
Just
Huge
a
grand slam.
great homer here.
Yeah, as tough as always at Shaka, you know, it's the biggest stadium in the game, so to get a grand slam in a moment like that on prime time to open the season, that was huge.
For sure, it really proved that he could show some power. I know he's kind of low in the power rankings, but just a matter of time he can make his way up.
Yeah, and he was our AA champion, so to do that on opening night, again, I've said it already, it's just a big, big moment. We're going to move now to number 4. This is a great play from Weaver in the middle of the week in a game where he's already winning, trying to keep the lead. He makes a great diving play with Nornsby, flips it to second base, and throws it over to first just in time to get the speedy. The runner at second was speedy. The runner at first a little less speed, but just had to be perfect to make that double play.
For sure, you got to think that ball is hit like a cannon, straight up the middle. You know, definitely the game was kind of already decided at that point, but I would say if you're going to catch that ball, I mean, it's definitely noteworthy. Yeah,
huge play from Weaver. We're going to move now, as we see it one more time, to play number 3. This is actually a couple of plays. This is a submission from Squiggle Jones in the AAA, who's jumped out high in the power rankings on the back of a nice offensive season. This is a pair of homers from Lady Cinnamon, the starting pitcher in the debut season for this club in the XBL AAA.
Well, it's so rare to see a pitcher get a hit nowadays. And now you see them hitting tanks, you know, and great start of the season for the pitching staff. They got to be patting themselves on the back after this.
Yeah, Lady Cinnamon with a pair of them. She's going to hold on to those. Maybe continue to try and stack up a few more, you know, and try and break some records. We move now to our second play. This is a play from Webb here in a tight game, a game where I believe he ends up splitting with Jack and Bada Bing. We've had a great start to the season. This one caught just over the wall, dead center field at Founders.
You can see Webb's reaction when he catches the ball. You know, he's just ecstatic, you know, keep the game in reach. Really just a great all-around piece of work on the defensive side.
Yeah, nice play by Webb there to keep it close. And now we'll move on to our number 1 play of the week as chosen by me and J-Boops. This is coming from Match of the Week on Sunday night. This Cardiac in the 16th inning, trying to search for his first win against the Based Bandits. He finally gets a hold of one with Alex Benelas over the wall to right center field. A huge homer for the Cardinals and a big welcome back for Cardiac.
For sure. With this being the longest game on record on the game of the week, you got to think, you know, this is just a big homer. You know, Cardiac getting his first win after season off. It's got to feel good, and it's great to see him finally get back in the win column. Yeah,
there's just so many different things playing into that home run that make it just that much bigger. As you see the stadium there, soaked in red, as the Cardinals are the home team, then just walking it off. It's great for him to get a win, and that'll be doing it here for our weekly roundup tonight. I appreciate J-Boops again for joining me for the first time in the booth. It's been a pleasure to put together another show for you, and we'll be back again next week. More plays, more rankings, and more excitement for you guys. J-Boops, before we part this evening, is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, I definitely just want to touch back on the rankings, you know, like it is only the second week of play here. So I think we'll definitely see it shake out. And from there, it's just going to be a great season. I love how we've been able to run this league for so long and have so many great storylines. And thanks for having me on tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you again for joining me. I hope you join me again as we are still young in this season 11 campaign. We're going to continue to put out some great casts for you guys, some great content from all of our players. Thank you all again for joining us tonight. Have a safe and pleasant evening, everyone. We'll catch you next time.